Good morning, Celtic fans, and in today's Celtic FC news, Celtic manager Ange Postecoglou continues to make a splash in the Scottish Football League, celebrating his 51st league victory with the champions last night. And then we have to talk about VAR. Jesus. We'll talk about that in the comment section. Today's comment section is from the community tab, so if you haven't been on the community tab on the channel, make sure that you jump over to it. So first of all, obviously we won 3-0 last night, and Livingston manager Mad Davy had no qualms about the loss to Postecoglou. He says they were worthy winners. To be honest, they played some nice football at times. He said it was really difficult games for us to lay a glove on them. They've got international players. I've seen them do that against Real Madrid. So Davy's been watching us against Real Madrid. Anyway, he says they have the money. He's going on about the money. And that's how you spend it. And that's how coaches and players you bring in. Postecoglou was pleased with his team's performance, with that being another clean sheet. So that's 6 clean sheets in a row. And it's his 51st victory as Celtic manager. Ange Postecoglou, the Celtic manager, also played down the injury to Callum McGregor as he embraced the lucky interference by Dyson to score that goal. And the lucky is obviously a little nod to the heart to our opposing coach last night and the coach over in Sevcoland. The Postecoglou said that the midfielder was forced to change his shorts after sustaining a bloody nose in the quarter-hour mark with the clash with Bruce Anderson. The stoppage to the player received treatment. There was an eerie hush even around Celtic Park when it happened. The big Greek, for what I've heard, he is in America, and it looks like he is going to America. He's just getting things tidied up, but I have been told that he flew to America, so the American market is still open, and that's why we can sell them to the Americans or even the Japanese still, but it looks like he is going to America. It's not finalised yet, Postecoglou says, but the markets that are looking at him are obviously still open. Now, Matt O'Reilly's been talking last night, and he admits that he wants to play regular Champions League football when he leaves Celtic. The 22-year-old has had a whirlwind since arriving in the Scottish Premiership, and he basically wants to go to a bigger club, so he's already thinking down the line, and when he is sold and when he goes to his next club, he wants to be playing in the Champions League on a regular basis. But it looks like he's looking at going down south and trying to get a big team down south, or will he head back to Denmark or something like that? You don't know. He could end up in Europe at one of the top teams in Europe. But needless to say, he will move on at some point when Ange gets a replacement for him. So now we jump over to the comment section. The comment section comes from the community tab on the channel. If you haven't been to the community tab, you should always check out the community tab on this channel. The first one goes to James, and it was basically talking about, I put a post up talking about VAR, and it was embarrassing, checking for various offences when Celtic score a goal. So that was obviously to the one where they went back to check if there was a tackle, if there was a foul. They went to check if there was an actual tackle, a foul that could be given away back the pitch in the Celtic half, and then they went to check if there was an offside decision. So they're basically going back about 2 or 3 gameplays to make sure that there's nothing happened before Celtic scored the goal. They're that desperate to try and stop Celtic scoring. So the first comment comes up that I'm going to look at is James. He says, every goal now is getting checked for anything to see if they can chop off a goal. It's a joke now. Terry Weir says, as long as VAR reverses the Rangers penalty, which shouldn't have been awarded in the first place. Well, in last night's versus Hearts, I've never watched the Sevco games. I know that they're getting away with absolute murder when it comes to VAR, and obviously there was the decision to send off the player that wasn't even the ref's decision, it was the VAR decision, and that was then rescinded. So take from that what you want. If you should look at Paul Larkin's documentary, that's a good documentary to watch, all about anyone but Celtic. John says refs don't have any control anymore that they had at one time. Does VAR undermine refs' abilities to make a split decision a decision. Yes, it does. Everything is now getting checked, even offsides. I mean, there was an offside given last night, and it was 43 seconds after the initial touch. You know, so the standard of referees and linesmen in Scotland is absolutely shocking. It's getting worse. It's got worse over the last couple of years. It's just one of those things. What do you do? What do we do? The last time the old 10 the hump and went on strike, we got refs in from abroad. Is it time that the refs went full time in Scotland? Alex Brown says even VAR is a mason behind closed doors, but as usual, we're used to it by now. Yes, we are, but it doesn't take away from the fact that it's happening, and it is embarrassing. There's people that don't even watch football that are now watching Celtic games and saying that it's an absolute joke. And this is people that are outside Scotland, so take from that what you will. Easy quadruple treble says, why doesn't our board come out and stick up for the club? We will eventually come unstuck in a game due to the cheating. It's one thing that we've always said, that the club doesn't stick up for us. The club's always quick enough to jump on fans when they've done something wrong, but when it came to the officials, we haven't stuck up to the SFA or the SPFL since Fergus McCann. Fergus was still here, he'd be one man that would be champing on the door and knocking down the door saying you're a bunch of cheating orange. And on that note, have a great day, Celtic fans all around the world. I'm waiting to get a suntan.
Lit. Roll up to the party, roll up to the party, roll up to the party.